Canada has been ignoring Taiwan for too long now, and it's costing both countries billions in trade dollars. And frankly, it's time for that to stop. Honestly, it's no secret why Canada hasn't had the strongest relationship with Taiwan. That's obviously, thanks again, China. Canada just hasn't ever been willing to sour its relationship with China due to the obvious economic disadvantages that would have. I honestly think it's time for Canada to start looking for a new major trade partner, that being Taiwan. So for over 50 years, Canada has had no real formal relationship with Taiwan, and that really complicates the way that the two countries interact with each other. Here's the thing, Canada simply can no longer afford to keep Taiwan out in the sidelines. Our countries are simply too similar to not have them have some kind of trade deal that benefits both of them. Let's take a look at some of the similarities. I discussed this in another video, but there's even more to it than just that. If we take a look at our current Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, and some of the things that he's promised and some of the things that he cares about, there are striking similarities between that and what Taiwan also has their priorities set on. Prime Minister Trudeau is often a huge supporter of LGBTQ rights. So is Taiwan. In fact, Taiwan was the first country in all of Asia to legalize same-sex marriage. It takes a lot of guts to be the first person to support anything anywhere, really, but this particular issue, it's especially impressive that Taiwan has taken the first steps towards supporting it. Another thing that Prime Minister Trudeau often cares about is Indigenous rights. Well, Taiwan has the exact same thing going on, with Taiwan also recently trying to support its Indigenous rights and groups. Prime Minister Trudeau is also trying to continue on with the green energy. Taiwan is the exact same. The list honestly goes on and on and on and on and on. Our two countries' goals are so similar. It's really important to have strong trade agreements. Two in particular. The first one, it's kind of long, the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership. Yes, I'm reading that on a screen off camera because it's too long for me to remember, but shortened, we could just call it the CPTPP. That's a trade agreement that currently involves Australia, Brunei, Canada, Chile, Japan, Malaysia, New Zealand, Peru, Singapore, and Vietnam and Mexico. And it's my hope, and honestly, 68% of Canadians hope that Taiwan gets access to this trade agreement. It would be huge for Taiwan. They would get access to things like Canadian raw materials, Canadian poultry and beef and different things like that, which would be great because there's a big market for that here in Taiwan. Canada would get access to Taiwan's huge high-tech market, auto parts, aircraft materials, you name it. There are so many different things that the trade agreement could do to benefit both parties. It's ridiculous that Taiwan isn't part of this already. Pound for pound, Taiwan is the most important place in the world. Rashir Sharma, The New York Times. Here's the thing, Taiwan is actually the world's most important country. Crazy claim, I know what you're thinking. Why is that, Prazi? Why would you say something like that? Well, the answer is semiconductor computer chips, which are made right here, right behind me at TSMC. They are the world's leading producer in this kind of thing, and those chips are incredibly important, especially right now. Since the beginning of 2021, there's been a world shortage of them, and China and America are actually playing catch up with Taiwan because nobody in the world makes computer chips like these guys do here. These chips are used in all kinds of things: consumer electronics, cars, airplanes, military equipment, pretty much anything you can think of. These chips are used in them. The automotive industry in particular has been affected by this shortage, with a lot of the major manufacturers having to delay the production of their vehicles because of this shortage. So you can see why controlling this industry is so important. Having control of this industry now is pretty much equivalent to controlling the oil industry in the 20th century. I mean, let's face it, cars these days are quickly just becoming rolling computers. In fact, it's estimated that 40% of a new car's value comes from just the electronics alone. By excluding Taiwan from these trade agreements, it's just foolish. And just take a look at what we're missing out on. Because of exterior pressure, wasted potential. And listen, if you want to just exclude the moral equation from it, maybe a few $1 billion in trade agreements might entice you. Democracy is not just an election, it is our daily life. Tsai Ing-wen, President of Taiwan. Another thing that Canada should be signing into effect is a Foreign Investment Promotion and Protection Agreement, or FIPA. This, along with the CPTPP, would do amazing things for Taiwan-Canada relationships, which honestly it should be improving. And if Canada does support Taiwan with these things, I think it would give a lot of Canadians hope and Taiwanese hope, and it also reassures people that Canada still stands for the things that it says it does. If Canada's relationship with China continues on the path that it is time for Canada to start looking for a new economic trade partner. Taiwan, honestly, it just fits the bill. Taiwan should also be supported with being a part of a lot of international organizations like the UN. The General Assembly is being held in September. Taiwan can't go. That is unacceptable. The World Health Organization. Taiwan dealt with this virus better than pretty much any country on the planet, and they really could have helped the World Health Organization. There's the UNFCCC, which deals with climate change. That's a big thing on Taiwan's agenda. There's also the International Civil Aviation Organization, which doesn't even deal with politics. It's more of like humanitarian work. So if you're worried about the political blowback from helping Taiwan, then you could just start there. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. I'm very happy to say that this video is sponsored by the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in Canada. The work they do is very, very important. So thank them for making this video possible. Bye.